All right, welcome everybody.
Hi.
Thanks for jumping in. We're going to go ahead and kick this off. We should be live. I'll periodically be rude and be staring at my phone to see if it kicks off on the phone as well, just to make sure that the live is working. Yeah, it looks like it. So I think we're good. So again, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us here. We try to do these lives monthly. We never do, but maybe every other month. We've tried to do that with our great community here, the digital romance community, which has been awesome and a lot of fun. So those of you who are able to join today, that's awesome. And if you end up watching on a replay, that's cool too. Feel free to leave any comments or questions or anything as we go through this today. If you haven't attended one of our lives before, we just like to update you a little bit on maybe what we're up to, where we're headed next. We'd like to hear from all of you, kind of what you've been up to. Be great to hear your summer so far. If you've done some really cool trips, I would love to see that in the chat and in the comments. What your future plans are, maybe in the fall, that would be really exciting to see, your holidays. So, hey, this is all things travel. So definitely share any of that. That would be great. In addition, we have some things to share. We want to talk a little bit about something that's come up a lot because we've been booking a lot of you on cruises. I don't know, 100, 200 of you by now. And there's been something that's come up multiple times that we're like, yeah, we should probably talk about this a bit in this live to kind of help you out how to kind of book at the right time, make sure you get the cabin you want, the price that you want, all that good stuff. I know that's important. And then we'll just do a general Q&A. So that's kind of the plan. Anything else you want to add to my little preamble there?
That sounds like a good agenda.
All right, good deal. So, hey, Roland, travel fan, John, etc. So we got a few comments there. Thanks for joining in here today. All right, so let's. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to share the screen as well. So, give me a second here. All right, so we're going to share the screen. It'll hopefully work. Let's see. Are we going to pick a window? Give me a second here. I think it's going to be this tab right here. Yep. Let's go ahead and share that. So that should be popping up on your screen. So what we want to talk about, this will be pretty quick, but it's really, I think, going to help you get the cabin you want at the price you want it, maybe get better cabins. And again, this has come up multiple times in recent bookings that we've had. So we want to talk about those strategies overall. So really, when to book your cruise? Do you want to kind of cover this?
Yeah, I mean, to have the most selection at the best price, the sooner the better, or the earlier the better, I guess, is the best strategy. 12 to 24 months ahead, or ideally right when the cruises are released by the cruise lines. That's when the best price will be. There'll be deals along the way, but overall, over time, the prices tend to go up. The other strategy would be to book last minute. This can sometimes work for you, although the cruise lines are getting a little savvy about that, and they will raise prices for the last remaining cabins. So sometimes if you wait too long, that will backfire. And then, of course, another great strategy that we always recommend is to book on board, because cruise lines will throw a lot of great deals at you to get you to book on board. And if you have a travel agent that you like, no problem, because you can just book on board and assign it to them. So, and then they can add extra amenities like onboard credits as well.
Yeah, that's something that we do for our clients all the time. We've had several of you, multiple people now, book on board, and then we've taken over the booking. Sometimes automatically we get notified, and then we add our extra perks, amenities, and onboard credits as well. So you get the best of all worlds by doing that. But like Monica said, the sooner the better. I mean, I can't tell you how many recent quotes we've worked on where things are just sold out. There's nothing available, or the prices are insane. They've gone up quite a bit. So there used to be a time where just waiting to the last minute would get you the best deals. And I'm not going to say that there aren't some last minute deals out there, but not as many as you would think. I mean, and take it from people who have probably done over the last 90 days, several hundred quotes. There's not a lot of them out there, and things are surprisingly booked up way in advance at this point. So when we had the video we came out with like a week or two ago on all the new itineraries for Celebrity in 2027, I mean, we had a bunch of you actually booking those. So it just goes to show you people are jumping on early. So
yeah, I was going to say one more thing about that is a lot of times we have access to blocked pricing, some pricing that has been blocked early and kind of locked in. But as you get closer to the sail date, within a few months of sail date, the cruise line will recall that space. So suddenly we don't have access to that at all. So you don't want to wait too long, because then it really will work against you.
Yeah. Also, if you are any kind of special cabins, these you definitely want to act quick. If you know solo cabin, a connecting cabin, accessible cabins, it's a special event, it's a new
Mhm.
ship. All those things just drive demand, especially when there's just a limited number of space available. Obviously, a large ship that's a little bit older, it's not really a special sailing, it's shoulder season. You're going to have more flexibility, but a lot of the ones that are in demand, they're you're just not going to see great deals
Mhm.
on, or they're going to sell out quickly. So if you can, always move quick. But look, if you're not able to, then if you're a last minute or you want to do something in the fall, let's say here, 2025, it's still doable. You just need to be more flexible. We can still find things, we can still find opportunities and deals, but it may not be everything. We may not be able to choose from everything that we could have 6 months ago or a year ago. And just keep in mind that cruise lines are a lot smarter now on this. We have AI out there now. So they use AI in their pricing. There's algorithms. They have figured out that if they get X percentage booking in a certain
Mhm.
amount of time, they know that they can raise the prices and fill those. Even if you think the prices are crazy and nobody would book it at that amount, you'd be surprised. So this is completely different
Mhm.
than just a few years ago, where they probably were just doing fairly manual price adjustments. We sometimes see, like at midnight, every day, sometimes pricing being adjusted by the line. So this is going to happen more and more as we move along. So just kind of keep that in mind. You've got these rocket scientists kind of working to maximize revenue for most of these companies, which most of them are public. They want to make the most money possible, the most revenue possible. We want to get the best deal possible.
Mhm.
So it is a bit of a tug of war between both sides. So by following some of this advice, you'll put the odds way more in your favor. Another thing you can do is really to kind of book seasonally,
Mhm.
kind of figure out some of the times, like what do you kind of think here?
Well, obviously avoid peak season, whether it be spring
If
break.
you can. I mean,
If
not
you
everybody
can,
can.
yeah, not everybody can. If you can, spring break, Christmas, New Year's, the summer, those are going to be the high season. And then if you can go on a shoulder season, even, the April, May, June, or October, September, October
Depending upon where
timeframe,
you're going, of
depending on
course.
where
Yeah.
you're going, then that can be much more advantageous.
Yeah, what's interesting on Europe, typically you get better value on ocean cruises like April, May, and even September, October. But I've kind of found on river cruises, which we had a lot of people doing river cruises, it actually doesn't work this way. April, May, by the way, 2026, virtually almost all booked.
Yeah.
There's still some opportunities, but I am shocked. Like Viking has, I don't even know how many river cruise ships, 200.
Mm-hmm.
So many of their spring bookings or spring sailings are completely booked, other than a cabin here and there. So April, May, higher prices actually. Interestingly, when you get into June and July, the prices go down a little bit. It's not typically like that on the Med cruises, right? The Mediterranean ocean cruises tend to get more expensive. So it does depend too on your style and how you're traveling, but always good advice to sort of follow those. A lot of times when we're working with somebody who's flexible, we may say, hey, look, prices in March are this, they start to steadily go up in April and May. And then if you want to catch it on the way down towards the end of May into June. So, we can look at that a little bit and see the trend of the pricing. It's basically the same experience. It's just the weather that's different. So there are also ways to save, just being strategic by that time.
Well, yeah, and I will also say that cruise lines, they will offer promos by sailing. So if there's a sailing
Mhm.
that's not selling, then they will do a promo on that. So by avoiding the peak times, you can maximize the chance of finding those promos. They'll be promoting because they want to also fill those ships up. So yeah, going off peak can definitely work for you.
Yeah, and also when we get quote requests, sometimes I'll have somebody say, "Hey, I
Mhm.
want to do a river cruise in May 2026. I want it to be on the Rhine, and we want it to be on Ama, let's say." Well, we can go ahead and look at all the different sailings, and like Monica said, there are sometimes, let's say there's a dozen in the month, 2 or 3 of them will have a better deal. Like meaning they're offering free upgrades, they're offering, or we're offering through cruise planners prepaid gratuities, and we
Mhm.
can even swing out an onboard credit. But then the very next sailing that goes out the same day or the next day doesn't have any of that. So again, those are things that we can look at, or any of your smart travel advisors out there can look for in order to kind of get you the best price. I mean, we're all about getting the best price. I mean, I think if you can pay less and get the same experience, why not? Another really big thing is, especially on future cruises, if you can, make sure you understand the deposit policy. If you can, go for a refundable deposit. Like, for example, we put a lot of people on Celebrity, and through cruise planners, we have an all in special basically. And it's, you know, the typical all-in package from Celebrity, which is classic classic beverage, the base
Basic
Wi-Fi, but the sweet spot is it comes with a fully refundable deposit, which normally Celebrity charges you about $1,000, $900 to add on. It's quite a bit, you know, just to get a refundable deposit. But if you're booking a 2027, perfect opportunity to go ahead and add all in and get the refundable deposit. Because then if your plans change, your plans change. Like we booked a Antarctica Celebrity cruise in January 2027 and an Arctic Circle. I guess we're very hot in the summer here, so you see the theme. In, I think, June, up in Norway and Arctic Circle. Well, I'm fairly sure we're going to go, but it's still a ways away. But we knew prices were starting to go up, so we just booked both of those with refundable deposits. You know, so if our plans change, our plans change. Other times with other cruise lines, sometimes you can change with a fee. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's a $100 fee. You can move it to a different booking. Just kind of be aware of that situation. But if you're booking way out in advance to get the best price, make sure there's a little flexibility, I think, with the deposit.
Yeah. And if you're thinking about a cruise, but you're not yet sure, well, go ahead and do it now. Lock it in and have that refundable deposit in case you change your mind.
Yeah.
Because the price may not be there when you finally decide on it.
That's the big thing. Your price probably is going up. I'm going to say 90% of the time, if not more, it will go up over time. One other thing to mention on this to protect your booking, because again, this has come up multiple times, is we've had people we've given a quote to, and I understand it. Sometimes it's hard to make the commitment like right there. You want to look into the flights. You want to look into, I don't know, a hotel, and you think that that cabin and that price will just remain available. It doesn't. Until you hold it, there's tons more people who are looking at it potentially, and they can grab it. And this has happened to us a few times. So you also can hold a cabin, sometimes just for a few days, sometimes for a week, sometimes for 24 hours. But you may want to consider doing that. Hold a cabin. There's no financial obligation until you put the deposit down. And this way, while you're checking the flights or checking your mileage, you know, if you have points, you're not going to lose the offer, because we've seen that happen a few times, unfortunately, lately. Other things are, people worry, well, if I book now, what if price goes down? Well, I'm going to tell you, it probably won't. But if it does, you can monitor for that. I know on our bookings that people book through us, we automatically monitor on most cruise lines, not all, but most, where if we get a price reduction, we actually get notified in our email, and then we can double check it and then work with our client to maybe get an onboard credit, to get a credit adjustment. So in a lot of the major lines, it's already done automatic for us, but it's certainly something you can do. I've done it personally myself a few times where I've seen pricing go down and I've gotten things repriced. So don't let that be a reason you don't hold something. More than likely, it's going to go up and you'll be really happy with the price that you got. I think we already mentioned like high demand things. This solar eclipse sailing, I think it was on Silhouette on Celebrity. It's next year. I forget the dates.
August, I think.
Yeah.
Sometime in August.
They're literally selling them now for $9,600 per person. I don't even know what kind of cabin. That's Celebrity for a week. I mean, you know that's not the pricing on Celebrity, but there's been so much demand. The price goes up. Even if that sounds like a crazy price, and they probably don't have many cabins left, they'll sell it at that price. So that's why special events, holidays, all that good stuff. Christmas market cruises, don't sleep on those. We have people like, oh, I want to go in 2025. Probably not. So 26, 27, there's even some 28s that are booking now. So I think you guys get the idea. We just want to really give you advice on how to save the most, get the cabin you want, get the price you want. That's ultimately what really matters. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing on this. I have one more thing I want to show you, speaking of deals. So let's stop this one real quick, and then we'll just have a conversation, take some questions. So type any questions that you have into the chat, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring up one more thing. We've got a couple cool deals. All right, let's go back to share. Okay. All right, so these are pretty cool. It's just two deals, but we have some block space that we have through cruise planners and through our agency. So we figured might as well kind of share these with you. These may fit, these may not. Do you want to cover it?
Yeah, so the first sailing is on Celebrity Constellation in October 2026. We have 7 cabins. There's 3 of the Prime Concierge cabins. And 3, actually, I think there's 4 Ocean View cabins. So the price on these, well, the first one is $2,800, $2,854 per person. And right now it's selling at $4,691 online. So this is the all-included with a refundable deposit. So if you go on Celebrity today and try to book that, it's going to be $46.91 per person.
Yeah, that's a lot of savings, about $1,800 in savings per person. So we had to share this with you. Don't forget concierge cabins. You get some nice extra perks, early boarding, early out. You get the lunch on the first day. You get a concierge. Some nice little upgrades along the way. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you get like little treats in the afternoon, things like that. So it's nice. And then the Ocean View cabin's a little bit less, but you still get the all-included package and the refundable deposit. So if you're interested in either of those, let us know. That's a great sailing, though. It goes from Rome up to Ravenna, so around the coast of Italy, with lots of great stops along the way. And you get some, it looks like Croatia and Montenegro as well. Fantastic. And then you wind up in Venice.
Yeah, it's probably one of the better itineraries. It's on Constellation, so kind of like Celebrity Classic overall, but they've done some upgrades to that and refurbishments to that ship as well. So really, really great deal. And then the second one is, I think you have one cabin left on this one. It's an Alaska cruise on the wonderful Edge.
Yeah, the beautiful Celebrity Edge next year, during the 4th of July week, essentially. And this one goes out of Seattle and returns to Seattle, and you get to see Endicott Arm and Dawes Glacier, Skagway, and a few other stops along there, Victoria, BC. So this is an Edge veranda cabin with the all-included and the refundable deposit as well. So this one is $3,069 per person. And right now online, it's going to be
about $3,800.
$3,800, yeah. So
Monica doesn't have her glasses on. I kind of tell she's sort of trying to look at the thing. I'll do the reading. I have the young eyes here.
You do. You've had the factory reset.
Yeah. So you're going to save about $1,400 for a couple overall. So pretty nice. And then refundable deposit. Get your classic beverage package as well as your Wi-Fi. And we get asked that question. If you want to upgrade to the premium Wi-Fi, you can. You don't pay the full price. You just pay like a difference. And the classic beverage package, if you want to get those premium drinks, you just can pay the difference on board, or you can go ahead and do a discounted upgrade to premium if you prefer. All right. So those are some really cool deals. Oh, I should say, yeah, just go to that link there, digitalromance.com/cruising. I'll put it up again and just fill that out if you're interested, no obligations, and we can confirm. And yeah, we can hold you one of these spots because there's just a few left at this point. All right, so let me stop the screen share. I think I did, possibly. Hopefully, we're back on the screen. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some questions. Oh, I'll go ahead and put that link so you've got that. I'll find it here. Let's kind of pop it on the screen. Yeah, so that's the link if you need. And if you need any other quote on a river cruise, ocean cruise, we're personally working with you, so be happy to do that. So just go to that. I'll put that up again later on as we get questions. So let me look at the comments. Okay. See if we have any questions to answer. Yeah, Rolando says he's a client, so appreciate that.
Hi, Rolando. Hi, Terry.
Got there. Let's see. Terry says, hi, first cruise coming up next month. 1 month. Europe moving well with a new hip. Awesome. That's good to hear. That's good to hear because I've heard when you're in Europe, they do make you walk a little.
Yeah.
In Europe. Yeah. So it's good that you're the bionic woman now. Let's see. We have Orlando. Nice cruise booked through y'all through January on MSC. Hey, we're going to be on MSC in January, but I guess a different cruise.
It's a different one. Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, we're going to try the yacht club experience for the first time.
We're doing yacht club. They're doing yacht club as well.
All right.
So
we'll compare notes.
We can compare notes.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a good experience. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, speaking of cruises that we have coming up, because we'll want to share how it goes with all of you. We put it in the channel, pros and cons. We just did a review on the Solstice. We did this crazy weekend cruise.
Celebrity Reflection.
Sorry, Solstice class Reflection. So we put that review. And we also did the Beyond a few weeks ago for a week. And we didn't do a review yet in the channel, but we can answer any questions on that. It was really cool. But we have an Azamara cruise coming up at the end of September.
We do.
In Europe, really nice itinerary.
Islands of the Mediterranean. We've been waiting for this for 2 years. I can't wait.
I think we used our free nights that we earned over time with Azamara on that one. So we got about half the cruise for free. And then we have Viking Vela.
Viking Vela later in the year, but we also have the Allure of the Seas on a transatlantic at the end of October.
Okay, so we do Vela after the transatlantic. Okay, so we'll come back home, then we'll go back out and do the Viking Vela.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been a bit since we've done an ocean on Viking, so we're excited about that. All right, let's see what else we have here. When do cruise lines release the next season? Does it vary by line? Yeah, it does vary by line. We are tracking in our calendar. I think in September, Celebrity is going to be releasing their Australia, right? Am I right on that?
Yeah, in September,
Yeah.
Celebrity is releasing Alaska, Hawaii, and Australia.
Yeah, so early in September, Alaska, Hawaii, later in September, Australia. I would expect Royal Caribbean to be right around that time as well. Some of them have already released. I've seen things from Princess and Holland that are already out there. I know for some people you like to wait a little bit before, but we try to keep an eye on it. So you can always fill out one of the forms that I gave you and let us know what you're looking for, and we can let you know, yeah, they're out or they're not out.
And also September 3rd, Celebrity has announced their river cruises. They're allowing deposits to hold, well, I guess to hold a future river cruise with a refundable deposit. So
yeah, it's $500. It's refundable. We're going to do it. I'm going to put the $500 down because we definitely want to try them as well.
In 2027 is when they start their river cruises.
Yeah, Danube or the Rhine. I think 10 ships. We don't really know a ton more other than we know it'll be good. It's Celebrity. There's even the chance to do some back-to-backs with river and ocean. Could be kind of fascinating.
How fun would that be?
Yeah, that'd be really cool. We did this with Virgin Voyages when they released the Scheduled for Brilliant Lady. We put down, I think, $500, and it was refundable, but we got first dibs when the schedules were announced, and we got better pricing, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're interested. Can we monitor with MSC? Yes, MSC is one of the ones that we monitor. We get emails if pricing does come down. Let's see what Tom says. So excited that I booked that cruise back in December. It's a fraction of what they charged. Yeah, I mean, isn't that fun? Like when you go and you look at what you paid and then go look at current pricing. Yeah, it's always kind of exciting because I'm telling you, 9 out of 10 times, you're going to be really happy you booked when you did.
Yes.
Terry's got a question here. Any good Virgin deals for 26? Also, when is the time to look for deals to Tahiti, Trans-Pacific? Yeah, so Trans-Pacific, we're still waiting on more for 27. I think when we get the Australia and Hawaii schedules, we'll probably see more of the Trans-Pacifics. Some of the lines, like the luxury lines, they tend to put their schedules out for 27 and even 28. Yep. So if you're, want to go Lux and you want to be on Silversea or Seabourn or Oceania, they're probably already out. If you want to be contemporary lines like Celebrity, Royal, etc., we have to wait a little bit, probably another month or so, or just a few weeks. I think some of the Princess and Hals are already out. I'm probably forgetting some cruise lines like NCL. I'm not 100% sure where they're at. So we're starting to see that. Virgin always has some deals for sure. So I think it depends a little bit about where you might want to go. If you give us an idea of, the month that you're looking at, we can also look that way. We can look at Virgin Voyages, in a given month, and we can do some really interesting sorts where we can many times find a deal. Or if we have a special perk, be happy to pass that along to you. Guy says, best month to cruise Southeast Asia. Any lines you'd recommend that have compelling itineraries with like Hal, Oceania, and Princess? Okay, yeah, that's a really good question. What would you say? And then I'll kind of weigh in.
As far as the best time?
Yeah, best
months.
Say
I would avoid July and August just because it gets very hot and humid.
Yeah.
But maybe spring or fall.
Yeah. Fall would be great, I think. And spring or fall. Yeah, I would avoid, like Monica said, summer. You can do winter in some cases, but it just depends on what ships are actually positioned there. So when we came back on our Trans-Pacific, that was in, what month was that? May? Yeah, that was May. Yeah, so that means that they were positioned there. Royal had their ship there probably like March, April, May type of thing, maybe even February. So that to me was a really good time of year to do it. And then probably the fall when they'll send the ship back there. That would be another time. So yeah, that would be my recommendation. As far as compelling itineraries, Celebrity's got some really nice ones. We're booked on one at the end of 26, I think.
Next October, I think.
Yeah, really nice itinerary. They're doing a lot throughout Korea, Japan, Thailand, Malaysia, I don't know, Singapore. They got a lot of really nice itineraries, but I think you'll see some good ones also on Hal and Princess and Oceania. So that is a market with a lot of choice for sure. So again, on that one, if you just give us an idea of maybe either places you want to see or you don't want to see, maybe you've already done XYZ a lot and you want to avoid it, if you can let us know, we can definitely look into that. And I'll just kind of give you the little link if you want to just grab this and send in a request. We're happy to look into it for you and kind of give you an idea. So you just can go to that link on the screen. Let me go back and see what I've missed here. Hey, Manuel, just saying hi to everybody. Dave, let's see what you have to say here. Just found Excel in 2027 for Greece, September 11th. Looks like a great price. Excel, so now you're going brand new. We are booked on Excel. I don't remember when. 26?
Probably.
I think so. Yeah, we wanted to get on that
I can't
ship.
remember the date, but it's next year
Yeah,
sometime.
I think it is next, maybe spring or something like that when we're back in Europe in 26. Could be wrong on that. So yeah, that sounds awesome. There's some nice pricing. Again, you're smart going far in advance. It comes up quick. You put it on the calendar, you make the booking, and then before you know it, it's time.
That is true. Sometimes it feels like 2 years is going to take forever, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden it's here. So
I know that's why we like to have a lot on the calendar. We've already booked some 27s ourselves. Small ship would you recommend for Tahiti? Ooh, that's a good question. So it depends on what you consider a small ship.
Mhm.
So some people feel, just a few hundred passengers. So like Windstar would be a good line. Azamara is not, I think it's small, 700 people. I do know they have sometimes sailings there. Oceania, if you get the, what's the class called in Oceania? Not the Vista class.
yeah, it's like the
Oh gosh.
Insignia Nautica Marina.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that class, but
It's
anyway.
the art class.
Yeah, art class.
The
Thank you.
Renaissance class.
Yeah, those will all be under 700 people. They do a really nice job. There are definitely some sailings into that region. So those would be, I think, 3 really good recommendations. Of course, you could go luxury. I'm sure we could find a Silversea or a Seabourn if you want to throw down, a lot of money. But if we're talking more of the contemporary lines, I think those would be some of the better choices.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Dave says, yeah, that would be Excel would be celebrity. Exactly. So I think I've gone through all of the questions. If you have any new questions that have come up, go ahead and put that into the chat. We don't like to keep you that long, so maybe just another few minutes here. We'll wait for some people to put some other questions in. Any other things come to mind while we're waiting to see any final closing questions?
No, not that I can think of. Covered a lot. Are we done with our slideshow?
Yeah.
No more? Okay.
No. Slideshows are over.
No more
Slideshows
slides?
are over now. Videos coming up. I know we want to do a video on, we did one that went over really well on the Rhine versus the Danube. So we want to do another video on all the other choices. A lot of times people don't realize there's a whole nother section of the Danube that you can do. There are some of the other rivers. Monica's better. The Moselle, the Douro.
Yeah. Well, once you've done the Rhine and then the Danube, then what? Well, you have a lot of choices. In France alone, you can do the Rhone, the Saône, the Seine. And then you can go to Portugal and do the Douro, which is still on our list. And then, there's, I'm sure, other rivers I can't even think of offhand. But
are we gonna let them go to the Douro and beat us to it? Is that
probably
fair?
I mean, the way we're going, but we need to get that on the books. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. Poor us. We probably have like a dozen on the books.
What's funny?
It's hard to find time.
Literally, I could book that today. Maybe I'll just book something, and then it'll be on the books.
It's true. She does have the technology. That's what's kind of dangerous. Being in
the technology
the
and the credit card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My heart just missed a beat there. But anyway, let me see what else we have here. Oh, sorry. I scrolled back up by accident. Oh, best time to do Amazon. Ooh, that's a good question. Gosh, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one a little bit. There was a really cool cruise that we did on one of our videos that I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Wasn't it Oceania that just sails out of Miami or something, and then it will sail right up the river to Manaus or something, like 1,000 miles into Brazil. It was very cool.
Yeah, I still remember.
Have to look for that. But that was whenever that goes, that's a good time.
Yeah, let us get back to you on that one, because that would be a really bucket list for us as well. Let's see what Manuel says. Doing a transatlantic on the NCL Pearl on April 26th. Awesome. That's great. So I assume maybe leaving from Florida and ending up in Barcelona, Rome, wherever you are. That'll be great. Yeah, we love the transatlantics. We'll be on a Virgin Voyages transatlantic in the spring as well. Yeah, in April. So we'll be on one. So we have one obviously in the fall. You can see pretty much every time we can take one to get ourselves to Europe or back, we do. And we've even done a Trans-Pacific. So I would absolutely do one again anytime. Terry says Avalon in December. Looking forward to Christmas markets.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you book her on that one?
Yes, that'll be awesome.
So jealous. We're not on Christmas market river cruise this year. We did it last year, but I'm hoping the next year for sure.
Yeah, we might make it to some markets in December, but it won't be on a river cruise, unfortunately.
I think we're going to try to get to Vienna, at least for the markets. And then I think we'll spend a little bit of time in Rome and Barcelona. So we'll hit some markets there as well. Not truly the traditional ones. Vienna should be the real traditional ones. Yeah, the Grand European. Viking's got some really cool, that's a good one, cruises. They have some too where you can actually get like the Rhine, the Main, the Main?
Mine.
Main,
Yeah.
thank you. And the Danube all together on a 14-day. So that's a way you don't have to decide or do the Grand European. So yeah, that's some really good ideas. You can do almost these put together back-to-backs.
Yeah.
That
It
are
goes from
very
like
cool.
Amsterdam, ends in Budapest. That's
Yeah.
wild.
Tom says, excited for the Celebrity River Cruise. Yeah, same. Would be nice to see what they're offering. Yeah, I know. That's the only thing. We don't know a lot. So you're right. I don't know. Solos on river cruises is sometimes challenging, but we have had some people we've worked with lately where we've been able to find at least the solo supplement waived. If you are a little flexible, I will tell you that's the key. I'm also going to tell you most of the time, if the solo gets waived, it's more in the deluxe staterooms, the fixed windows, not as much in the balcony cabins. But I did find one for somebody recently where they waived the solo supplement for the panorama on Avalon.
Avalon, yeah.
So it does happen. We can definitely find it if you're flexible. Just let us know. And I'm just not sure on Celebrity because they're not always the best on waiving solo, and they're probably gonna have so much demand initially.
Right now the deposit is for double occupancy only, but you never know down the road.
Cool. Manuel says going Miami, Barcelona, classic route there. Love it. Yeah, Roland says my wife would love to do a Christmas market cruise. Do it. It's so fun. It's different than the typical river cruise because obviously you're spending a little less time on excursions and tours. You're spending more time just getting to the markets, but they'll a lot of times stay late at night. Sometimes even overnight. So we had multiple markets that it was dark and lit up and you had that whole experience. So yeah, sometimes you're going during the day, still fun. But the real magic, I think, is, when the sun goes down. So we did that several markets.
Sometimes we had 2 a day. So you go to one town and do their market. And then in the evening, you're going to another town. But they were also different, but very fun. And you get these little collectible cups. I'll have to grab some of these.
I think Viking got their money's worth from us because we ate multiple times per day at these markets. The food and the drink is so good.
You get these little cups when you buy like the mulled wine or whatever hot beverages that they have. Sometimes, it could be hot chocolate, and it usually has a little town name. Sometimes it even has the year. We've got tons of them because
€5
what you do is you get them and you get your drink, you drink it, and then you can give it back and get your deposit back. Or if you can't part with it, then you take it home with you. So now we've got a whole collection of them. But that makes it a lot of fun because every city's different.
Yeah, very nice. It is a lot of fun. There were people that we were on the river cruise with on Viking who hardly ate anything in the markets. I don't know how they did it. I mean, they got their full money's worth on Viking by eating all the meals, but there were meals that we were like, we can't even face it because we were just so full. Because
they have so many great local foods at these markets, not just, the holiday type food, but local stuff too, like spätzle and I don't even remember what all. I mean, waffles and smoked fish from Finland. I mean, all kinds of stuff that was so good and you don't want to pass it up. So
definitely. All right. So I'll put a couple of closing links up if you want to go to our travel website and just have fun and explore. There's a really cool cruise search there. If you hit the advanced search, you'll see it. Go to like find a cruise and then click the little thing that says advanced. And you can do some really cool searches like by dates, by cruise line, by region, by cities, embarkation. It's a pretty fun search to go ahead and do. So that might be useful for you if you're just trying to dream up what the next cruise will be. And if you guys want to quote, you can always go there. We'll be more than happy to get back to you. We usually get back to you same day or next day, and we do the best we can for you overall. So I think that is honestly about it. Anything else before we end the live?
That's about it. Till next month.
Yep. Till next month, hopefully. We'll be, I think, in Europe. So maybe we'll do one from Europe somewhere. Thanks a lot for everybody who joined live.
And thanks for coming.
Hello to everybody on the recording. Leave any comments or questions down below. We'll see those as well. So even if you watch the recording and have a question, we're more than happy to get back to you. Take care, everybody.
All right. See you out there.